face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello, I'm Magdalena Tinaga, your host for this news this hour. Stay tuned. We will start with Ghana. Tetracor Gas Ghana has commissioned Ghana's first ever compressed natural gas facility at Kapone in the Kapone Katmanso municipality, marking a major step in the country's energy transition and industrial development. The facility was officially launched on Tuesday by the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Dr. John Abdullah Jinpur, on behalf of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Developed at a cost of $15 million, the facility introduces a gas virtual pipeline network designed to supply compressed natural gas to industrial, commercials, and transport users, particularly those outside the conventional gas pipeline grid. It includes a 5.1 million standard cubic feet per day compressed natural gas mother station and a 10 mm SCFD pressure regulations and metering station supported by modern compression systems and a short distribution pipeline. Tetracor has also deployed specialized gas-powered trucks to deliver compressed natural gas nationwide, reducing dependence on liquid fuels and promoting cleaner energy use. The company plans to expand the facility capacity to 10 mm SCFD within 9 months to meet rising demands from industry and transport operators. At full capacity, the plant is expected to refuel up to 30 trucks daily and cut carbon emissions by about 147,000 tons of carbon dioxide per day. Dr. Jinpur described the project as a milestone for Ghana's energy security and decarbonization agenda, noting its potential to lower fuel costs, create jobs, and strengthen regional energy cooperations in West Africa. President Felix Anthony Tshisekedi on Tuesday inaugurated the new campus of the University de Kanga UNICAN, marking a major boost for public higher education in the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Kasai Central Province. The modern campus, officially opened on Tuesday, significantly expand access to tertiary education in the region and is designed to accommodate about 3,500 students. Built to international standards, the facility includes 2 administrative building housing, 72 office and meeting rooms, 16 lecture halls with a capacity of 200 students each, 3 student residence blocks, 2 large libraries, 14 research laboratories, a computer center, and a university restaurant. UNICAN now offers a broad academic portfolio spanning 7 fields of study and 3 specialized schools covering disciplines such as economics and management, information science, agronomy, environmental public health, medicine, and law. Authorities say the expanded academic structure is aimed at strengthening human capital and aligning university training with national development priorities. Speaking during the ceremony, President Tshisekedi said the project reflects his administration's commitment to improving study and research conditions for young people and ensure more equitable access to quality higher education across the country. The campus is also equipped with supporting infrastructure, including a reliable electricity supply and improved access roads, reinforcing its role as a driver of local development. Provincial authorities and community leaders described the university as a symbol of progress and a catalyst for long-term socio-economic transformation in Kasai Central. The governor of the province called the project a cornerstone for the region's future, noting its potential to reduce student migration and stimulate innovation and skill development. The inauguration formed part of President Tshisekedi's wider tour of the region, which includes the rollout of infrastructure projects such as the modernization of key road corridors to improve connectivity and economic activity located near the village of Katambai. On the outskirts of Kanga, UNICAN is now positioned as one of the most modern higher education institutions in the country and a growing national hub for learning and research.
Ethiopia's green legacy initiatives are restoring urban parks and expanding green spaces across our cities. Green spaces protect the environment and strengthen healthy, resilient communities.
South Africa welcomed 10.48 million international visitors in 2025, a 17.6% increase over 2024, setting a new national record, according to Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille. The surge highlights the country's growing reputation as a premier global destination and reflects the government focuses on tourism as a key driver of inclusive economic growth and job creation. The country's recognition as Best Destination Africa 2025 by the Travel Weekly Readers' Choice Awards underscores its rising stature in global tourism. Minister de Lille also unveiled the cabinet-endorsed Tourism Growth Partnership Plan, which includes the rollout of electronic travel authorization system aimed at easing access for travelers from key markets such as India, China, Mexico, and Indonesia. Tourism currently supports around 1.8 million direct and indirect jobs in South Africa, with one job created for every 13 international arrivals. Measures to improve safety, including deploying 1,500 tourism monitors during peak periods, have reinforced visitors' confidence and contributed to the sector's strong recovery. South Africa also expands its meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions (MICE) segments in 2025, securing 51 bids with an estimated economic impact of 894.5 million rand. Flagship events such as Meeting Africans and Africans Travel Indaba generated significant revenue while supporting thousands of jobs. Looking ahead, South Africa will host a special Devils meeting in 2026, demonstrating continued international confidence in the country's capacity for major events. Minister de Lille emphasized tourism as a tool for shared prosperity, cultural exchange, and sustainable development, positioning South Africa as a model for African-led growth in the sector. The government of Ethiopia is taking bold steps to strengthen the country's workforce and unlock entrepreneurial potential among its youth through expanded investment in technical and vocational training programs. According to a recent announcement from the Office of the Prime Minister, these initiatives are designed to equip young Ethiopians with practical market-relevant skills that directly respond to the demands of a modern economy, bridging the gap between classroom learning and real-world employment opportunities. The suite of program emphasizes hands-on experience across trade, technology, and entrepreneurship, ensuring that graduates are not only job-ready but also empowered to launch startups and contribute to economic innovation. Central to the government's strategy is the integration of digital learning platforms and technology-driven education, which extend access to digital literacy, problem solving, and take competitiveness critical for success in today's job market. These efforts align with broader national priorities such as the Digital Ethiopia 2030 agenda, which aims to transform the country's digital ecosystem and prepare citizens for the future of work. The push for skill development complements other national programs like the 5 Million Ethiopian Corridors Initiative, a large-scale digital skills training effort that is already expanding opportunities in tech fields such as web programming, app development, data analysis, and artificial intelligence. Launched in collaboration with the government of the United Arab Emirates, the initiative aims to train millions of young Ethiopians, strengthening the talent pipeline for the country's growing digital economy. Officials underscore that these investments in human capital are essential to fostering employment creation, startup growth, and broader economic dynamism by preparing youth with technical expertise and entrepreneurial capabilities. The government aims to reduce unemployment, stimulate private sector development, and ensure that the benefits of Ethiopia's economic transformation reach all regions and communities. As this program expands, Ethiopia is positioning its young workforce to contribute more effectively to national development, driving innovation, competitiveness, and inclusive growth across the country. Turkey has announced plans to deepen cooperation with Nigeria in industry, trade, investment, and production following high-level talks held in Ankara during Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's official visit. The discussions were chaired by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and brought together senior ministers from both countries. Turkish Trade Minister Omar Bolt said the talks focused on expanding economic collaboration and resulted in the signing of a joint declaration establishing a joint economic and trade committee aimed at strengthening institutional coordination and boosting bilateral commerce. A memorandum of understanding on halal quality infrastructure was also signed. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to reaching a $5 billion annual trade volume target, pledging to diversify trade, increase mutual investments, and strengthen private sector ties, Balot described Turkey's approach to Nigeria as a long-term trust-based strategic partnership.
Willing to collaborate, willing to help, willing to work together to promote freedom, stability, and prosperity, shared prosperity across the world. What is very important to the two countries being discussed? Trade, business, avoidance of taxation, no restrictions, lowering a given opportunity to those who are ready to learn, work, and prosper. How do we build an inclusive economy together? That's what we discuss. How do we reform and get everybody, vulnerable people in particular, involved in our economies?
The visit also saw the signing of 9 agreements covering areas such as military training, higher education, media diaspora affairs, halal accreditations, diplomatic training, and social and women issues, reflecting the broadening scope of bilateral relations.
Give peace and stability to the world, and particularly the necessary peace and stability of the continent of Africa. Nigeria is the heart of that country and is surrounded by instabilities, challenges. We've discussed that. We've discussed effort at terrorism, discuss how we could defeat elements of destabilization, banditry, and horror. We will work together to achieve that. I thank you, my brother.
Trade between the two countries reached $6,088.4 million in the first 11 months of 2025, with Nigeria emerging as Turkey's largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa when energy is included, with growing defense, construction, and manufacturing cooperation. Both countries signed their intention to further consolidate strategic and economic ties. Moving to business news, we have Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko on Tuesday called for a new phase in economic relations between Senegal and Morocco, urging a shift from trade-focused ties to value chain integration, joint production and local processing. Speaking in Casablanca at an economic forum alongside Moroccan Prime Minister Aziz Akanouch, Sonko said cooperation must evolve towards productive complementary and align industrial capacities. He acknowledged progress in bilateral trade but said current volumes fall short of the two countries' strategic potential. Sonko stressed a co-development model aimed at producing, processing, exporting and consuming together to create jobs and added value. The Prime Minister highlighted the need to better structure trade relations through a joint trade commission and stronger economic data sharing to help business identify viable investments. He welcomed recent cooperation agreements signed in Rabat, urging the private sector to turn them into concrete projects. The forum, organized by Morocco's CGM with investment agencies from both countries, brought together ministers and business leaders, reflecting high-level political backing from King Mohammed and President Bassirou Diomaye Faye to drive private sector-led growth. South Africa will unveil new measures by the end of February aimed at increasing local vehicle production, including potential adjustments to luxury taxes on imported cars and import tariffs, the government said on Tuesday. The initiative comes as the country faces challenges from the global shift to electric and hybrid vehicles, stricter emission standards, evolving trade dynamics, and rising competition from low-cost imports, particularly from China and India. The government is conducting a comprehensive review of its automotive policy with a focus on reversing the decline in local manufacturing. Chief Director of Automotives at the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, Mukuhuli Molota, told lawmakers that proposals from industry and other stakeholders are being evaluated with final recommendations expected from the end of February. Officials are considering tax reforms to incentive domestic production, including revising the ad valorem or luxury tax and reassessing tariffs on imported vehicles. Deputy Minister Zuko Godimpemi said consultations with the National Treasury would begin soon to explore these options. South Africa's 2018 Automotive Master Plan aimed to lift local production to 1% of global output, around 1.4 million units, and increase local content in assembled vehicles to 60% from below 40%. Despite production reaching 602,302 units in 2025, imports remain high, with light vehicles accounting for nearly 70% of national sales, driven largely by affordable models from India and China. The government is also engaging with Chinese manufacturers to expand local assembly, following Nissan's recent sale of its South African manufacturing assets to Chery Automobile's local subsidiary. These efforts refresh Pretoria's push to strengthen industrial capacity and maintain competitiveness in Africa's automotive sector. Now to sport news. Rabat will make their global debut on Wednesday in the FIFA's Women's Championships Cup, facing reigning European champions Arsenal at Brentford Stadium. The Moroccan side, winners of the 2025 CAF Women Champions League, enter the competition as Africa's leading club, known for tactical discipline and a strong winning mentality. The match presents as with their toughest taste to date, as Arsenal experience, peace and technical quality set a high bar on the world stage. Brentford Stadium is expected to strongly favor the English side, adding to the challenge for the Moroccan champions. Despite the daunting opposition, arrive unbeaten in their last 5 matches, demonstrating consistency, defensive solidity and confidence. They plan to focus on compact defending, minimizing space between lines and exploiting transitions with speed and precision. For the Moroccan team, the fixture is more than a dip. It is an opportunity to gauge themselves against elite competition and assert their credibility in global women's football. Every decision, duel, and movement of execution will be critical in testing their readiness. The match also carries broader significance for African women's football, symbolizing growing ambitions and the continent's desire not only to participate in global tournaments, but to compete effectively against established powers. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast across Africa. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in and goodbye.